Laura Serrano.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Laura Serrano. My address is 26 Holman Avenue in Bayshore, New York. Long Island is a beautiful place to live. We are surrounded by water. We have the Great South Bay. We have parks, boating, and all of the beauty of the ocean. In 2001, I bought a home on the water. I was so happy until October 14, 2005, when that beautiful home, my happiness and all my dreams for me and my son would now abruptly end. The quality of the ocean that I loved is now questioned in my mind after what I have seen. The Southwest Sewer District Number 3, Department of Public Works, Suffolk County, shut down the sewage plant because of a malfunction, specifically something had broken. The sewage went in reverse. It entered homes through drains, doorways, burst pipes in homes, as well as on the street, came out of manhole covers, etc. This caused horror and sickness to my family, and others also became ill. If they keep connecting others to the Southwest Sewer District and not necessarily make upgrades of the sewer plant, then the same thing will happen again. In my investigation, I have talked to hundreds of people, including politicians, EPA, DEC, environmental groups, Department of Public Workers, Southwest Sewer District Number 3 workers, and the information that I have is immense with documentation that is shocking regarding what is going on in Suffolk County in relation to sewage flooding. For example, why secret testing was done on so many homes with high levels of severe bacteria and the residents were not notified. This is completely unethical. Now what I have to ask is why $7 million was paid out to homes affected by raw sewage and somehow 26 Holman Avenue in Bayshore was forgotten. Where did that money come from? When they were dotting their I's and crossing their T's, why were we forgotten? I often wonder if it was because of my last name being Serrano, Puerto Rican, a Latino last name. Or was it because I was a single mom? Or possibly was it that they felt that this cover-up would go away in time? Well, I don't think so. Now the time has passed and has made me and my case stronger and has proven the incompetence of the Suffolk County Department of Public Works and Southwest Sewer District. This happened to my home and the homes of others again on March 30th, 2010. I was not surprised that it happened, but I was in a state of shock. The smell of raw sewage, fumes, and gases that came from the flood was a sickening reminder of what occurred in 2005. If we do not fix what is broken, this is what happens. Lives have been changed and scars have been left. Well, I have never forgotten and I never will. I am the home with the large signs on. I am the mom who begged you for help when I was sick. I was a hard-working, loving, trusting, healthy, single mom. I am a person who trusted my county, only to find lies, cover-ups, corruption, and the lack of respect for human life. I have information here that would blow Suffolk County out of their dysfunctional Department of Public Works, Southwest Sewer District, and political toilet. You know, I read an email from the town and the county, and it said, I wonder what Copeg is waking up to, the smell of coffee or sewer. I find this remark disgusting. This raw sewage flood is my day, my night, my dreams, or should I say my nightmares. How do they think they can destroy someone's home, health, livelihood, and then disappear? How about our environment? Do they care about Suffolk County's future, the Great South Bay, the soil, the air, the water? I would also like to read you a letter my son gave to me a year ago. That is when I went to some of our politicians' office asking for help, and again I was ignored. The subject was, I am my mother's son. I am here to say she needs help. To whom it may concern. Hello, my name is, I am a 21-year-old from Long Island, New York, more specifically, Bayshore, New York. I'm writing to express and communicate my discontent pertaining to a very sensitive subject. I speak of the loss of my home at 26 Hominy Avenue in Bayshore, New York, and the near death of my mother, Laura Serrano. On October 14, 2005, our home that my mother worked so hard for was devastated by sewage backup that directly entered our home. Very shortly after, my mother contracted meningitis, which nearly killed her. After the fact, conclusive soil and air testing was conducted on our property and revealed the presence of high levels of bacteria directly linked to meningitis and serious other illnesses. This cruelty reality forced my mother and I to move out of our home with our health as the highest priority. My mother has the soil reports and the findings, along with the 5-year detailed documentations of her efforts to seek justice, which is now 6 years. This inadequate, aging, failing sewer infrastructure on Long Island and all over the nation is no longer something we can turn our backs to. It is impacting lives in the pursuit of happiness. My mother is not a money, hunger, sue-happy individual. Instead, she is an individual who seeks to rebuild our property, replacing the contaminated soil with new soil to pursue the future prospects of either living in our house once again or having a clear conscience of selling our property. Despite multiple attempts at a more than deserving trial with Suffolk County, she has been stood up several times. The individuals refused to come to a settlement with my mother, let alone show up. The immaturity of these types of decisions cannot be emphasized enough. I want my mother to get what she deserves for the last 5 years of stress and neglect. On an even broader scale, I also seek recognition of the urgency behind the neglect of our sewage infrastructure. It would be horrible if something like this was to happen to anybody else. This is why I'm writing to you. If there's anything you can do to hold the mentioned individuals accountable or put this letter in the right hands, I would be completely and sincerely indebted to you. Thank you so much for your time. When my son gave me this letter, I realized that this worst sewage flood had changed us forever.
Serrano, can I just...
I'm almost done.
You are, okay.
The dreams of ever moving back came to an end the second time that my home was inundated with raw sewage on March 30th, 2010. Just imagine someone pouring raw sewage into your home. How would you feel? I tell you this because I will never go away. I want my 6 years back. I want the county to stop adjourning my day in court. This December will be 34 adjournments. Let me repeat that, 34 adjournments. How is this fair? How is this corruption so deep that I cannot get a trial date? I question this every day. The only thing I do know is that I will never, ever stop pursuing this issue. Why? Because I am my son's mother. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you for appearing. Just want to make one, I'm sure you realize this, we're in charge of Islip Town government. Your issues are with the Department of Health, the Sewer District, and Suffolk County. I'm sure you've had lots of process with them.
You're absolutely right,
But
I do have, in that bag there, I have the minutes and the meetings, and I have every legislator's name on those minutes and meetings.
That doesn't
stating
change.
about this raw sewage flood, that it was a hazardous
change.
to everyone's health in Suffolk County. If I had your name and other legislators' names and other politicians in the minutes and meetings in that bag, stating that they were aware of this, I figure, you know what? Let me just share this with you, just in case you are not aware of it.
Thank you very much. Andrew Sater.